you doing, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show, where we talk about life, we talk about liberty, and we talk about the pursuit of happiness, and we show the world that us Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day, good week, wherever you are. Just remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. That should be every day for us, ladies and gentlemen, as we go ahead and live this life totally unto Him and glorify His holy name. And ladies and gentlemen, I got a question for you on this episode, and we're gonna cover with the first segment. Are you disloyal to Trump if you vote for Ron DeSantis? That is a question that has been pondering in my mind for the last couple of days, due to the fact that I've been hearing ever since DeSantis has announced from Trump supporters. Now, it's not like this was a big surprise to everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Ron DeSantis was saying, hey, basically, I'm going to run for president. He has been campaigning all over the New Hampshire and other states. He's trying to get big donors involved. You kind of had the assumption that this man is going to run against Donald Trump. We already know that the only one that could possibly beat Donald Trump would be Ron DeSantis on the Republican side. That is my personal opinion. It possibly not. But ever since Ron DeSantis has announced that he is running for president, I have been hearing Trump supporters make claims like, "Oh, well, I'm going to stay loyal to the president of the United States. I'm going to stay loyal to Donald Trump. I'm not going to go ahead and vote for Ron DeSantimonious. I'm going to vote for Donald Trump." And they start quoting off Donald Trump's accomplishments. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not going to sit behind his microphone and say that Donald Trump was not a good president. He was. Do I think he should still run? No, I do not. I think Donald Trump should help people get elected. Now, on a national scale, he has not been good at that, I guess you could say. And the only examples you can have is the last two Georgia Senate races, and then the race against Mehmet Oz and John Fetterman up in Pennsylvania. Donald Trump went ahead and endorsed Herschel Walker and Dr. Mehmet Oz, and they did not come out victorious. But I think Donald Trump would be a lot more better use helping people get elected than trying to run for president of the United States. That is my personal opinion. Do I have anything against Donald Trump? No. Like I said, I like Donald Trump's policies. There was a lot of things I disagreed with him. One being the bailouts and shutting down the economy and everything for the latest pandemic. I understand that. I didn't agree with all those policies. I agree with him spending millions upon, well, I'd say millions, but trillions of dollars in trying with bailouts and all that stuff. But like I said, I wouldn't think twice if he becomes a nominee, and I'll vote for him. There's no if, no ands, buts about it. If there's somebody that runs as an independent, I would still say no. I'm going to go ahead and stick with Donald Trump. But the question, like I said, has been asked throughout the media this week. Well, I say it's been asked. It's been done by some loyal Trump supporters that we're going to go ahead and stand with the president. I'm going to use for a prime example, Dan Bongino. I love listening to Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino has a lot of wisdom and understanding on a lot of the issues. But Dan Bongino said it this week. Oh, I'm going to stick with Trump because Trump has been loyal to me, so I'm going to be loyal to him. Terrence Williams, the famous comedian that makes pancakes, and he's a business owner. He's met Donald Trump multiple times. Came out and said, "You can vote for Ron DeSantis, but I'm going to keep my loyalty to President Donald Trump." And like I said at the beginning, the question's been pondering: Are you disloyal to Donald Trump because you vote, or you are thinking of voting for Ron DeSantis instead of Donald Trump? No, I don't think you're disloyal. I think you as a person have to make a conscious decision on who you're voting for. And I've been dealing with this a lot lately. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of Senate races coming up here in the state of Louisiana. We have state rep positions. And I can't vote everywhere. I have my own district. We're going to be talking about my district in the second segment. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not disloyal to Trump because I think Ron DeSantis is the better person to run this country. I have already told you multiple of my reasons why I think Donald Trump should not run for president and we should elect Ron DeSantis. But it bothers me. What really bothers me is when I hear people that are on the Trump side say, oh, you are disloyal to the party and you're disloyal to Trump because you're not voting for him. No, I don't feel I'm disloyal. I'm making a conscious decision to vote for somebody. Now, we don't even know how far Ron DeSantis is going to get into the race. We don't know how far Trump's going to get into the race. We don't know none of these things yet. Our elections, our 2024 presidential elections are almost a year off, or a little over a year. And ladies and gentlemen, it's still early in the game. We don't know if Ron DeSantis is going to stay long. We don't know if Trump's going to stay long. All we can do is, at the time of this recording, I'm voting for Ron DeSantis, and I don't feel like I'm disloyal to Trump. But if you go on like I said, if you go on the side of the Trump supporters, that's all they think about is loyalty. And look, don't you know, this is why Donald Trump was upset that Ron DeSantis got into the race? Because he felt Ron DeSantis was being disloyal to Trump. Trump thought that Ron DeSantis was disloyal to him. So this is why he calls him Ron DeSantimonious. He says he's not a good governor in Florida. Like I said, all these same people that said, oh, well, he's not that good of a governor, a year ago was praising Ron DeSantis taking up Disney. Even that, I even brought this out on the show already, where they've said that, oh, he can't even beat Mickey Mouse. We had a news article today that, oh, not today, but this week, that that Disney is starting to lay off people because they cannot bring in the revenue no more. That park in Florida brings in tons of money, and it was tax free. Now that they have to pay that, the legal fees are starting to mount up. Now who's winning this argument? Is it Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse? No, they're struggling. And look, a lot of people can argue that, oh, this is government overreach. It's funny how that's government overreach, but a North Carolina governor can say, hey, I'm going to put a state of emergency and not pass legislation that disagrees with me. That's just funny how the left works. But I think it's a good question to ask, and I just don't understand Trump's voters. And look, I'm a Trump voter because I voted for Trump twice. But am I disloyal? No. Like I said, it's kind of funny that the Trump people will tell me, hey, you're disloyal because you're not holding on to your convictions that you had for Donald Trump before. No, I don't think that. I honestly don't. I honestly think that I am making a decision, and this is me personally. I'm not talking about you, the audience. Me personally, I don't like Donald Trump as the president coming forward. Like I said, if it came down to Biden and Trump again, I would vote for Trump. I don't know how many times I can say it like this. This question, it just bothers me that we have some in our own party say, well, if you don't vote for Trump, you're disloyal. No, we're not. This is why the primary season is here. And look, there was even some, I think, in the Trump camp that was saying we should just get rid of all the primaries and just pick one person and he runs so we know we can beat Joe Biden. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not how this works. You have the Democrat Party that does this with their primaries. They have the super delegates and they have the regular delegates. And if the super delegates don't agree with the regular delegates, 9 out of 10 of super delegates get the votes. Okay? So their primary season, the left primary season, is all screwed up. I'm not going to address that because I'm not in the Democrat Party. I'm in the Republican Party. This time right here is when we need to decide, or as Americans, to say, listen, who do we feel is best fit for the job? Right now, I believe there's almost 10 candidates on the Republican side. ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to go ahead and just say, oh, well, I voted Trump. I voted for Trump before, so I'm just going to go ahead and vote for Trump again because I want to be loyal to the president of the United States. That's not how that works. That is not how, look, I'm not going to doubt Trump's loyalty to people because you have people that I follow that say, well, Trump helped me with this or Trump did this. Like Dan Bongino this week said, I'm going to stick with Trump because Trump, which congratulations to Dan Bongino on being for 2 years on the radio. But, oh, Trump sent me a thank you, or Trump's this, because Trump's loyal, I'm loyal to Trump. Well, this raises a question. What if Donald Trump does do something wrong that is viable and that he doesn't get elected? Look, all the cases that are up against him, we already explained that on there. I defend Trump tooth and nail on that because that's all political-driven cases that have come against him. Even his indictment in New York, they're setting up the whole trial and everything in the middle of campaign season. Is that done by coincidence? Possibly. But that's all trumped up to stop Trump from running for president. Now you can have the argument the media don't like him, a lot of the Democrats don't like him, some Republicans, no Trumpers don't like him, so we should just stick with him because nobody likes him. No, that's not how that works. And this is, like I said, I like Trump. I'm not gonna go ahead and sit here and say I'm not. Trump probably would be my number 2 right now if I had to vote for anybody else. Me personally, I feel Ron DeSantis is the best fit for the job. But according to some on the left, according to some that's on the Trump side, I'm disloyal to President Trump because I don't want to give him my vote. But that's not how, like I said, this is not how this works. I know I'm rambling. I'm trying to get my point across. This is what the primary season's for. If you like Trump, great. Vote for Trump when the primary comes in your town. But what gets me upset, and this happens a lot on the Trump side, they want to bash us DeSantis supporters because we're not loyal to Trump. This is what the primary season's about. And like I said, look, I'm scared. I'm going to be honest with you. I am scared. What if Trump does not win the nomination? What if Trump does not win the nomination for president of the United States? Just think about it. Oh, he's going to win, Isaac. Well, we don't know that. What if Ron DeSantis, because look, there's articles this week about how Ron DeSantis raised $8.2 million after he announced. You even had some Trump supporters saying, oh, it was stupid he went on Twitter. It's kind of funny how Donald Trump came out. Donald Trump came out always on Twitter. He always tweeted. Don't you remember the mean tweets? But it was all kind of problems, and he had. Okay, I understand the problems at Twitter with the DeSantis announcement, but he still made $8.2 million in donations. It's possible Trump would not be the president of the United States coming forward. Will Trump be butthurt and run as an independent? I hope not. Because then you only got 4 more years of a Democratic president. If that's Biden or somebody else. Oh, you're disloyal. You should be loyal to Trump. No, I'm not loyal to nobody except the one, and that is Jesus Christ. Oh, and also my family. That's a number 2. I'm loyal to my family. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not loyal to Trump. I'm not loyal to Ron DeSantis. I'm loyal to truth. I want to bring out the truth, and this is why I did this show, to give my opinions on this stuff. It just bothers me. It really bothers me that we have some in our Republican Party that will say, hey, we're gonna go ahead and we're voting for Trump, and if you don't vote for Trump, you're showing you're disloyal to the president of the United States. And that's not, look, and Trump's not the president of the United States, he's a former president, but I get this from, I've seen this multiple times. And I just, do you go based on loyalty or do you go based on convictions? See, me, I go based on conviction, not loyalty. And like I said, what if Donald Trump has something come out the closet that is damning to his campaign? Will you still be loyal to Donald Trump? And there's a lot of people like this. There's a lot of people on left and right that their candidate can do something so bad, but they still justify it. And that's not how we're supposed to be. And if I see Ron DeSantis do something wrong, I'm going to come behind this microphone and I'm going to go ahead and tell you why it's wrong. Okay? I'm not gonna go ahead and say, well, I'm just loyal to Trump, and I'm not gonna listen to nobody else. I'm just loyal to Trump. That's not how you should be. You should look at all the facts. You should look at the person and their character, and you should vote on your convictions. Now, a lot of people, I remember I did the same thing. A lot of people criticized Ted Cruz for that. I think it was the 2016 Republican National Convention. The reason I was against Cruz when he said that was because he was basically saying, hey, vote your convictions, just don't vote Donald Trump. And now Cruz has changed his tone since then. But ladies and gentlemen, that if you vote for anyone besides the Republican or the Democrat, you're really just voting for the incumbent that's in the office, Republican or Democrat. It don't matter. But ladies and gentlemen, I have a lot of people that listen to this are Trump supporters. You just remember that we're not disloyal to Donald Trump. We're trying to get Joe Biden out of office. And you should, if you have a conviction, if you like Trump, vote for Trump. I'm not going to go ahead and come bash you on this microphone. But please respect us as DeSantis supporters and do the same. You can ask the question, well, why are you voting for Ron DeSantis? I had a Republican representative asked me that the other day, why are you voting for DeSantis? And I told him why I was voting for DeSantis. I just don't like the attacks that, and this is another thing that's bothering me before we move on. You have the Trump supporters attacking all the DeSantis supporters saying you're disloyal. Then you have Donald Trump attacking Ron DeSantis. Nobody else, by the way, but only Ron DeSantis, and calling him Ron DeSantimonious and all kind of other things, saying he's not a good governor, he's not a good this, he's not a good that. He's part of the establishment. I heard one thing like that they said, the Trump campaign. Let's go on the facts. And look, excuse me. Donald Trump attacking Ron DeSantis like that shows me he's worried about him. But we should not look, hey, I'm going to do this, this, and this. You as a Trump supporter, hey, vote for Trump if you want to. If you're a DeSantis supporter, vote for DeSantis. If you're Nikki Haley, go ahead. Vote your conviction. That's why this primary season is here. But we need to stop the name callings. We got to stop. We got to come together as a party and be united. Because I promise you, the Democrats are. Oh, what about RFK? I understand that. But it's only 20. The Democrat Party is solely behind Joe Biden. The main part of the Democrat Party is behind Joe Biden. They're united. They're going to be united after their primaries. Are we going to be? Or are we going to go home and pound sand and get mad and say, well, I'm not going to vote for that one because he had my man but lost. If you like Joe Biden and what he's doing, do that. If not, you vote for the candidate that we nominate as the Republican Party. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back in a few moments. How you doing, everyone? Isaac here. I'm the Cajun Conservative, and I want to thank Brother Lanny Hayes from Hayes' Dump Truck Service for their generous support of the Cajun Conservative and Brothers Just Searching. Hayes' Dump Truck Service serves the Lafayette and surrounding areas. If you have any job that you need done, like cleanup or hauling material to your job site or your home, we haul limestone, we haul sand, we haul topsoil, any type of material you need. If you're in the Lafayette and surrounding areas, please call Brother Lanny Hayes at 337-852-8043. Remember, Hayes' Dump Truck Service, where Jesus is Lord of the company.
Cleansed and made us whole. Not one hoof, not one soul.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the second segment of the Cajun Conservative Show today. I have to adjust my hat because on you guys on YouTube and Rumble, y'all can't see my eyes. Hey, I got my Blake Miguez hat on, man. I'm supporting some good conservatives right now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so as we go along, start on segment 2. Let's get some of the news out the way. The Dodgers are now at Christian Faith and Family Day AIM Pride Night controversy that come from Breitbart. So what happened was, if you remember the last episode, we talked about how the Dodgers wanted to have a Pride Night in June, and they were going to go ahead and award a group of drag queens that were blaspheming the name of God and dressing up as nuns. And we talked all about it, how they want respect, but unfortunately, they don't want to give us respect. They don't want to do unto others as they would have them do as we would have them do unto them, or they want to do unto others as they wanted to be treated. Now, because aimed at controversy, Dodgers started losing a lot of money, there was boycotts all over the place. The Dodgers decide, hey, we having a pride night. Let's go have a Christian and family night. Now, this throws up to a lot of controversy, especially on the family side, because you have the LGBTQ community saying, hold on, we're all about family. We want family rights. We want families entertainment. We want all this. We're all about family. But it's kind of funny how they put family and Christian in the same category, because Christian families don't support sexualizing kids at a young age. But this is what the Dodgers did. The Dodgers went ahead and they was like, hey, we're going to support this group of people that blaspheme God and targeted families, family values. Now the Dodgers are trying to step back and they want to go ahead and do a Christian and family day over there in Dodger Stadium. Now, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, even if they have this and they have announced it already, they announced it's going to happen in July. I think July 16th. July 30th. So almost 2 months away. They're going to have, and they made a nice little logo. It's Christian Faith plus Family Day with a cross and the baseball and all that. But if you are in Los Angeles and you're a Christian, I wouldn't go. Oh, wait, Isaac, you don't like how they're doing? No, the only reason they're doing this, they're trying to stop the bleeding. Ladies and gentlemen, for the past 3 weeks, we've had companies, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the third segment. But for the past 3 weeks, you have companies bleeding money or losing money because they decided to take this pride initiative. Now that it's backfiring on them, they are trying to figure out, how can we stop the bleeding? How can we go ahead and get all this controversy out the way so we're not losing money? My pastor talked about it this morning. It's not about teaching the kids or helping the kids learn right. It's about money. They're trying to make a profit. And this story, especially on the LA Dodgers, they made a boo-boo. I'm not trying to talk like a child, but these people, the Dodgers organization is trying to please both sides of the aisle. And I've learned something, especially in this business and also preaching the gospel and doing Christian podcasting. You're not going to please everybody. I'm learning this with the political side right now. I am voting certain ways that are not making people happy, or I'm saying I'm supporting people that are not making other people happy, and I'm good friends with them. I'm good friends with everybody. But, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot go ahead and say you're going to offend somebody. This whole notion that we're not going to offend people. We got to make it a perfect utopia where nobody's offended. It's not going to happen. Jesus offended the Pharisees, and Jesus was the most perfect man on earth. He did not sin. He did not do anything wrong. But they still were offended by him. Why? Because he spoke the truth. You're going to offend people. Now, do I think that the Dodgers are doing right? No, I don't. They're trying to stop the bleeding. And look, my advice is not to go. Now, and this also shows that it's funny how when they say, oh, Christianity does not impact anything in America, until these past couple of weeks when Christians and conservatives said, you know what, y'all push your stuff. We're just not going to go ahead and go for it. We're not going to buy the tickets. We're not going to buy the food. We're not going to go to your retail store. We're not going to do that. And it's kind of funny how the narrative has turned for a lot of these companies when they start losing billions upon billions of dollars and start saying, oh, we need to maybe start respecting faith and family. To be honest with you, I think it's hypocritical what the Dodgers are doing. I understand they're not trying to, they're trying to please everybody, but you're not going to please everybody. You're going to offend people on this earth, unfortunately. All right, let's go ahead and go talk to some local stuff. This local story, by the way, made national news, and I want to give props to who props is due. Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire broke down this story, and I heard his commentating on it, and I thought we need to realize something, especially if you're in the state of Louisiana in District 22, which is my district. We need to get good conservatives in there. We need to get good conservatives in our legislation. And look, I never met Mr. Mills. I know of Mr. Mills. He has been the senator in District 22 for God knows how long. Same thing with our state rep in this district, Mike Uval. But ladies and gentlemen, there was a bill that was brought up in the Senate, and this is by the Louisiana Elementer is a local paper around here. Louisiana lawmaker who bucked GOP on gender affirming care banned unfazed by national critics. So what happened was Senator Mills, State Senator Mills, was sitting on the committee of the Senate Health and Welfare Committee, and he went ahead and they had this vote on this bill that would stop surgeries from let's say like doctors performing underage surgeries. This whole bill is not to stop gender assessment surgeries. This is what the left wants you to believe. And I know this is a local story, but I'm going to get national on this. Every time you have a bill like this pop up, the first words out of the left's mouth is, oh, they want to stop transgender people from changing their bodies from one sex to the other. No, if you're 18 years old and you go to a doctor and you tell them, hey, I want to have surgery to make me look like a girl or a boy, whatever sex, the either sex of what you are, I disagree with it, but you have every right to. You're 18, you're an adult. But a child under 18 years old should get the consent of the parents. Or not even that. Just look, it's wrong. Prime example. Why is it against the law for a child to drive under the age of 16? And if you're 16, you have to have a permit and drive with a seasoned driver and all that. But why at 16? Why can't a kid drive at the age of 10? Well, Mr. Hayes, you got to realize kids are not capable of understanding the laws and all this stuff. We got to restrict the age. You have some activists out there that are saying we need to ban the age for guns. If you're under 18, you cannot, or they're saying 21. If you're over 21, unless you're 21 and above, you cannot purchase or even own a firearm. There's some people calling it. But when it comes to this particular topic right here of gender affirming care, the kid could be 5 years old. There was a story a while back on Fox News, and we brought it out on this show, where they were talking about a kid, a family. The little girl came up to them at 5 and said, I feel like a boy, and they did everything in their power to switch that little girl into a boy. Ladies and gentlemen, that going through surgeries and all that, this is wrong. If you hear in Matt Walsh, I'm not going to say it on my program, but Matt Walsh went into detail of what these surgeries do, where they take skin off of one part of your body and it's disgusting. Now, Senator Fred Mills, who is unfortunately my rep, and I say that I don't care how much stuff he's done good for this parish, he didn't do good for this, and I'm going to call him out on it. And look, I don't know if Senator Mills hears this program. If he does, he can call me. He can email me to CajunConservative5@gmail.com. I will talk to him and all that. But Senator Mills was wrong. This bill passed the House with veto-proof measures. And ladies and gentlemen, it got to this committee, and it was a 4-4 vote. And Senator Mills, who is a doctor, he's a pharmacist, went ahead and said, no, I'm not going to vote for this bill. His thing is that, we're going to have to trust doctors and the people that go to the doctors to make the decision. Ladies and gentlemen, Fred Mills was wrong on this bill. He should have stuck with his party, and he should have stuck with the values that he says he gives us as constituents of District 22. Did he do that? No. District 22 is against gender affirming care until the age of 18. Let's say it like that. Now, when asked about the outburst of national critics like Matt Walsh and others, Senator Fred Mills, when asked about it, voting to kill the proposed bill on gender affirming care for transgender youth, but he was not worried about it. This is how the writer says. Why should I? Mills said in an interview after he broke the tie vote Wednesday in the Louisiana State Health and Welfare Committee. They don't live in District 22. They don't have a 337 area code. I didn't run for office to serve those people, added Mills, a GOP member of the pharmaceuticals who represents portions of four rural parishes and New Iberia. This is the thing, Fred Mills. I live in 337. I live in 337. Not okay. I might not be a national critic. I go reach all over the country, but Fred, I live in 337. So guess what? I'm gonna come over this microphone and criticize you. I'm gonna come on this microphone and I'm gonna say you did wrong. You did wrong. You did not protect our children. And don't come tell me, oh, K-Bab, you don't know what you're talking about. No, I know what I'm talking about. Fred Mills did wrong. And all because, which we found out through Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire, that he's been giving a lot of people been giving him money from the pharmaceutical side. I wonder if that's what influenced his decision. I wonder if that influenced his decision to shut this down. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what you say about gender affirming care, if you believe they should get the surgery or not, but it is a surgery that after you have it, you live on medication for almost all the rest of your life. Big Pharma makes money off of this, and this is money. The money has went to Fred Mills from Big Pharma. Fred Mills calls himself a Christian. How? I don't see any Bible-believing Christian, I don't care what denomination you are, voting for this bill where you say that a child can go and have a surgery to change their body parts. It's absurd to me. It's idiotic. And this is supposed to be a smart man. I don't have to worry about the national critics because they don't live in District 22 or have an Area 337 area code. Hogwash. The people in your district and the people with that area code didn't want you to do that. You didn't go ahead and go out to the public and say, well, I found some people that said they wanted it. None of us wanted it. Now, there is some pushback that has happened with this, and there is organizations that have asked for certain things. If you go talk, I think it's Paige Cortez, the Senate president, they're trying to get it to where this vote still goes on to the Senate floor, and they don't need Fred Mills' vote or his committee to approve it. This bill should have been passed. Now, look, and this is what I'm going to say about Fred Mills. Fred Mills, you're a sold out. You have sold out to the Democrat Party. You have sold out to John Bel Edwards. And you have sold out to anybody that did not want this bill. Because you want to be friends with everybody. It's hogwash. I live in Area 337. And I didn't want this. You didn't come talk to me. And this is why, and I'm going to make a bold statement right here. I think we should elect Blake Miguez to that seat. Because Fred Mills is term limit. Fred Mills is term limit. I think this is why one of the reasons why he did this. You know the true fruit of people when they're term limited and they can't go any further in politics. This is why I think we should elect Blake Miguez. I met Mr. Hugh Andre in our district. If you live in District 22, I like Mr. Hugh. But Blake has proven that he fights for us people. I don't try to make endorsements on this show. I try to be fair. And if Mr. Hugh, if you're listening, you can come on this program anytime and talk to your voters. I will give you the open microphone. But Blake Miguez, in my humble opinion, is the best one to get this. This wouldn't have happened under Blake. This would have never happened under Blake Miguez. But unfortunately, Fred Mills is more worried about the good old boy system and how much money he can make after he gets out of office. This makes me sick that I have to call this man my senator. Isaac, didn't you vote for him? Yes, he was the best option at the time. But ladies and gentlemen, this is also another reason why we need primaries for the Republican Party. Because ladies and gentlemen, if we had primaries, Fred Mills wouldn't have been in there, and other goofballs that are at the Capitol in Louisiana wouldn't have got in there. But Fred does like a lot of rhinos. I'm conservative. I don't agree with all that until they get in that office. And then they backstab us. It's wrong. Fred, you said that Matt Walsh don't live in your district. I live in your district. So I'm going to criticize you. And I'm going to tell people to call you at your office and make their voices heard. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take a break to cool down. I'll be right back in a few moments.
Cheers and good on you, boys and girls. My name is Scott Ford, and I have a show on Rumble. It's the Scott Ford Show, all one word. The Scott Ford Show, all one word, and it's on Rumble. I'd be very happy if you went ahead and subscribed, like Isaac. I'm a true American-loving patriot. Thank you, Isaac. God bless. Enjoy your life.
You're my peace of mind when this old world seems to get me down.
Welcome back to the third segment of the Cajun Conservative Show. Just thinking about something to Fred Mills. I like how he said, he was like, oh, them national critics, they don't live in area code 337 and they don't live in District 22. What about the people that do live in there? And it's the same thing. You know, a lot of Republicans do. When they make a bad vote, I'm representing the people of my district. No, you're not. As I said in that last segment, majority of District 22 did not want you to vote that way. They wanted you to vote that would protect our young children from being butchered by doctors that think they're God and they can change the gender of a person. I'm representing District 22. No, you're not. No, you're not, Fred Mills. Chew on that for a little while. You're not. And look, I'm sorry I'm upset, ladies and gentlemen. This is close to home. It does, because this is my district. This is my senator that done this. This makes people in District 22 look bad because the nation thinks that District 22 approves of this, and we don't. We don't. Now, I don't know what's going on with Fred Mills. I don't know why he decided to do this. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad that he's out of there. And like I said, I'm sorry if I offend some of you. If you're Hugh Andre's supporters, y'all have every right to support him. Go ahead. But I think Blake's the best man for the job. I'm just, and look, I've been fighting with that. On that note, I'm trying to be as fair as possible. I have a lot of my candidates that I am picking, me personally, and I think every person should hear from the candidates. That's why I open up this microphone to Louisiana politicians, and we've had several of them come on this program. We have several of them I got to line up and get interviewed on. They want to come on this program. But ladies and gentlemen, after what Fred Mills did, we can't have a good old boy system in there no more. And look, if Blake don't win, and if Hugh gets in there, I would tell Hugh the same way. Don't join up with the good old boy crowd. Stand up for what's right. Fight for District 22. Fight for the conservative values. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't see that happening right now in Louisiana. I don't. All right. North Face slammed over ad featuring drag queen urging viewers to come out in nature. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Another big company, along with several other companies, is coming out with their pride ads and having a drag queen on there. And look, it was very interesting. All this is coming up. There was a person, and I can't think of the name. I know it was a famous person that went on TikTok and said, look, the gay community should be happy. We got where we can get married. We got where we can go ahead and file for income tax and all that. And basically this person was saying the gay community should break away from the trans community. But you can't. There's no possible way. But it just you open up a can up a can of worms when that happened. When the Supreme Court allowed same-sex marriages. And ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of funny. Pride is not about being gay no more. It's about everything. The LGBTQ community. They add LBGTQ, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They keep adding letters to that because they're always trying to expand their community. And ladies and gentlemen, North Face is about to have a big, rude awakening because I just asked the question: how much money has to be lost before these companies understand that America don't want this? This is a man dressed as a woman that is trying to advertise to come out in nature. Ladies and gentlemen, people see this and all they know is that they're pushing agenda. And look, this year is the far worst as I've ever seen it. Now people have spoken. I just don't understand how companies can't understand that America don't want this pushed down their throat. Target has lost nearly $10 billion in 1 week. Bud Light is still losing billions over the the drag that was on, or the transgender person that was on their can, Dylan McVonia, whatever his name is. And then you have people like politicians coming out saying that that Target is selling out the LGBTQ community. What politician said that, Isaac? Well, Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom accused Target CEO of selling out LGBTQ community because they went ahead and they pushed the pride section into the back. Duh. Gavin Newsom can say that. He's not losing money. He's part of the government. He gets all kind of money, whatever he wants. He's not losing billions of dollars. Target is. But this is the problem too, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what all these companies are doing. I talked about the Dodgers earlier. Oh, we're sorry we offend you, but next year they're gonna push the same crap to see how far we go. And if you always you hear about the you hear about boycotting. I heard a good point. I think it was Jesse Waters that said that on Fox News the other day. It's funny now how the liberals are all slamming Christians and conservatives for boycotting Target, boycotting North Face, boycotting all Bud Light, all these companies. We even heard this too. If you boycott Target, you're considered a terrorist. This is outright terrorism. These are the same people that wanted to boycott Georgia for changing voting laws. The left calls for boycotts every day if they had a chance. But conservatives can't boycott. See, we gotta be nice little subjects. We gotta do what the left tells us to do. And I think this right here should show conservatives we are winning. This should show us conservatives that we have power if we go ahead and take it, because we have the power of the people. And I'm going to quote my friend Scott Ford. I know he's listening. Scott, love you, my brother. Go check out the Scott Ford Show on Rumble. If you look at the narrative, if everybody loved this, why ain't Bud Light one of the top selling beers in the nation? Why hasn't Target made $10 billion instead of lose $10 billion? Because, ladies and gentlemen, it don't care how much ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, and all these other mainstream news networks tell you that the people are being more tolerant and people are starting to love the LGBTQ community. It's not happening. CNN, if people are more on the left than the right, CNN should be blowing up in ratings and making billions of dollars a year. They're not. They're losing viewers. The only reason they're still on the air is because of sponsorships of people and companies that are left-leaning and don't care about their money, and they just give it away to CNN. But people think, no, people like this. People want pride. No, we don't want pride. Because pride goes before destruction and a hardy spirit before a fall. That is my opinion on that. But Nardface, and I've seen the ad, it's ridiculous. Hi, I'm whatever, and I'm gay, and I'm... People don't want to see that. Now, like I said, clothing lines, we don't know. North Face and Adidas, they have all done this and they've survived. But Bud Light and Target, that should show Americans. And also, that's another thing. Adidas, Nordstrom, North Face, and other big clothing companies like that, they're all over the world. Okay? But Target and stuff, especially in America, it's everyday people that go ahead and buy that. They go to Target. They go to Walmart. They go to places like this. And this is why they're suffering. Normal people, you don't see the fancy drinking Bud Light or their cocktails. It's normal day Americans. And politicians should pay attention to what happened here today. Or happened these last couple of weeks. All right, some good news. I guess you could say good news. I haven't got all the logistics of everything with this. But Kevin McCarthy and President Joe Biden has reached an agreement on a potential debt limit. Now, there's some things that if you read on it, the Kevin McCarthy gave the president, like, I think it's some it is the green energy stuff. He didn't cut that. There was a few things that Kevin McCarthy had to take out. Joe Biden had to put in, I think it's like one of it being cuts to the IRS. There's a lot of things that we didn't get everything, and the president didn't get everything, and they reached a potential agreement on the debt ceiling. So the debt ceiling should be run. Now they're going to try to cram it down the throat of Americans and try to get it passed before June 5th, because the Secretary of Treasury said we only have until June 5th before we default on our debts. Now, it's funny how time moved on with that as we got closer. Oh, it's getting closer. I don't know all the details of the debt limit, but it is potential. Now, I'm going to watch this week, because I already heard Lindsey Graham say that because it cuts defending, I think this is one of them, they're not going to vote for it. The Senate, he ain't going to vote for it. And now it's based on principle. They're not relying on the debt ceiling. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to see how this plays out, because this is still a dogfight. Yeah, the president and Kevin McCarthy came up with a deal, but we're going to have to see what happens. Now, ladies and gentlemen, will this get passed? I believe Kevin McCarthy has enough pull in the Republican Party to say, look, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pass this bill because it's going to be the betterment of America. Now, this is the problem Kevin McCarthy probably is going to have, is the Democrat side. Because there's still going to be some, like Matt Gaetz and others in the Republican Party, that will not vote for this bill. It don't matter if Donald Trump approved of it. It's not going to get... There's going to be some Democrats that are going to say, no, we're not going to vote for it because we want this, this, and this. And then you have Republicans that are like Matt Gaetz and them that don't want to raise the debt ceiling. They're going to go ahead and they're going to be fighting this, and they're not going to... So it's still a dogfight because they made this decision, hey, we made a deal. Does not mean the deal is set on the table. It's still got to go through Congress. It's still got to go through the Senate. If you have some senators like Lindsey Graham that says no on it, it possibly it won't pass. I would have to look at the provisions of the Senate to see if it only needs a simple majority. But we're gonna have to see what happens. I think now, I've always said this. I don't think the president would allow the debt ceiling to not be raised. Now, this goes to another interesting point too. Kevin McCarthy held his guns. Did he get everything he wanted? No, he's probably not going to get it anyway. But Kevin McCarthy held to his guns. When the president was bullying him and saying, y'all not willing to work with me, Kevin McCarthy went ahead and says, hold on, we asked you for a meeting back in January. You told us no because you should have raised the debt ceiling, and that's it. No stipulations or anything like that. We're just going to raise the debt ceiling. Kevin McCarthy stuck to his guns. What, did he get everything he wanted? No. Even let's say like this: Kevin McCarthy and the Republicans did something that the Democrats feared, and they passed a bill. They didn't wait for negotiations. They went ahead and passed a bill, and it's sitting in the Senate right now. Will it get revised? We're gonna have to see all that. But look, it goes back to the point where I just said: Republicans, stand your ground. Stand your ground. Stand up for truth, brother. My pastor this morning told us something similar to that, but on the Christian side, to stand our ground and stand up for what's right and truth. And listen, conservatives and Republicans do the same. Get a backbone. For years, the Republican Party has been bullied by the Democrat Party. Stand up. Stand up for what's right. Stand up for your beliefs. Well, don't the Democrats do the same thing? Yes, and I commend them for it. That's how they get wins all the time. But when push comes to shove, it's funny who breaks at the most. Who breaks the most. And if Republicans stand up and say, no, we're going to do what's right, we're not going to move, like this, the Democrats say, well, what you want to do to make a deal? How do you think Ronald Reagan was so successful? Ronald Reagan did the same thing Kevin McCarthy did. Hey, this is the extreme. We want this. Y'all not getting it. Fine. We're not going to pass through with a bill. When it came to push and serve, guess who called and guess who got the deal done? So I commend Kevin McCarthy for standing his ground. Now, like I said, I want to see how this week plays out. We're probably going to discuss a little bit more if they pass it and all this stuff, what it contains. Right now, just a proposed bill. They have to go through their lawyers and all that stuff to see what happens. But it looking like the debt ceiling will be raised and America will survive for at least another year, according to financial consultants and all that stuff. All right, so with that being said, I want to thank you for listening to the Cajun Conservative Show today. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and the follow button on the platform you are listening on. Go ahead and tell your friends, text it out to people, email it to people, share it on Facebook. Help grow the show. Your help is much appreciated. I love you guys. Be safe. Remember, Jesus Christ is King. He's coming back. He's coming back soon. So don't be faint of heart, because Jesus has overcome the world. Until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. You have a good one.
Jesus Christ has risen, and he is the open door.